Tennis isn't a simple sport. The game continues until one player gets a certain number of points, or until a player quits in the middle of the court because they're too tired or hurt. This is why games that go on for a long time are so popular. The audience is always on the edge of their seats. In this video, we'll talk about the 9 longest tennis matches of all time. First off, at number 9, we have Fabrice Santoro versus Arnaud Clément at the 2004 French Open. In the first round of the 2004 French Open, two Frenchmen, Fabrice Santoro and Arnaud Clément, played against each other. It was a great match. Santoro played Arnaud Clément, ranked 32nd, in a match that lasted more than 6 hours. The game went on for so long that it took 2 days to finish. Santoro also saved 2 match points during the back and forth match, which was a lot of fun to watch. Both physical and mental skills were used in the match. On top of that, there was a lot of bad blood between the two teams. In the same year, Captain Guy Forget kicked Santoro off the French Davis Cup team. This caused a stir in the French tennis community, and tensions were high among the players. Fabrice walked onto the court as if he wanted to prove something. After winning the first 2 sets, Santoro won the 5th and final set to win the match. It ended with a score of 6-4, 6-3, 6-7, 3-6, 16-14. When Santoro fell on the court after beating Clément with a backhand winner, it showed how he felt after the match. At number 8, we have Kevin Anderson versus John Isner at the 2018 Wimbledon. In 2018, there were 2 great men's semifinal matches at Wimbledon. Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic were in one, while Kevin Anderson and John Isner were in another. Even though everyone was looking at the first, it was the second that stole the show. It's the longest semi-final tennis match that has ever been played. In the 49th game of the deciding set, the match's climax, these two old college friends hugged it out. In the end, the score was 7-6, 6-7, 6-4, and 26-24. The almost 7-foot players made the game as big as they are. At number 7, we have Leonardo Mayer versus João Sousa at the 2015 Davis Cup. You're wrong if you think the rivalry between Brazil and Argentina is only about soccer. The match between João Sousa of Brazil and Leonardo Mayer of Argentina was just as exciting. Mayer had to win the match badly for Argentina to still have a chance in the Davis Cup group stages. The pressure was put on him because the game was in his home country, Buenos Aires. It was pretty clear since Mayer lost 10 match points. Finally, with 14-13, he broke Sousa's serve. The 29th ranked Argentinian player fell to the ground as his fans and teammates cheered loudly. The result was 7-6, 7-6, 5-7, 5-7, 15-13. It also tied the best of 5 series, which was 2-2. It was a really big deal for tennis in Argentina and South America as a whole. Next up at number 6, we have Thomas Berdych / Lucas Russell versus Stan Wawrinka / Marco Chiudinelli at the 2013 Davis Cup. This is the only doubles match on the list of the longest tennis matches ever played. It's also the longest Davis Cup match ever played. It was really hard to keep going for 7 hours and 1 minute. The game was played at the PAL Expo in Geneva, Switzerland. Both teams did everything they could to win. In the end, though, the visitors were the ones who got the last laugh. When the match ended, Berdych and Russell won with a score of 6-4, 5-7, 6-4, 6-7, 24-22. With the win, the Czechs now had a 2-1 lead. It also helped the Czech Republic win the Davis Cup that year. At number 5, we have José Louis Clerc versus John McEnroe at the 1980 Davis Cup. The 7th longest singles match ever played was in 1980. It was the first of 3 marathons that John McEnroe would play. Argentina and the United States played the game in the finals of the Americas Interzonal. Argentina beat the US 4-1 thanks to a win by José Louis Clerc over John McEnroe that took 6 hours and 15 minutes and went 6-3, 6-2, 4-6, 14-12. This match also happened before the invention of tie breaks and was played played on clay. This match is interesting because it is the only one in the top 10 list with only 4 sets. Since there were no tiebreaks, the 4th set went through, and Claire won 14-12. This was the first time John McEnroe ever lost a Davis Cup match. It happened in Argentina, where the fans are crazy and the courts are very slow, which was McEnroe's worst nightmare. At number 4, we have John McEnroe versus Mats Wilander at the 1982 Davis Cup. You know what they say, the third time's the charm. This is John McEnroe's longest match ever, and he finally wins. In the Davis Cup match between the United States and Sweden in 1982, John McEnroe beat Mats Wilander 9-7, 6-2, 15-17, 3-6, 8-6. This took 6 hours and 22 minutes. This match took place before tiebreaks were added to tennis matches. Since the overall tie was tied 2-2 in the quarterfinals, this was one of the tensest games ever. McEnroe and Wilander fought like gladiators to the end, but McEnroe won. The United States got going and made it to the end, beating France in the finals by a score of 4-1 to win the title. At number 3, we have Radek Stepanek versus Ilo Karlovic at the 2009 Davis Cup. The 10th longest tennis match took 5 hours and 59 minutes to finish, just shy of the 6-hour mark. Radek Stepanek and Ivo Karlovic played in the Davis Cup semifinal between the Czech Republic and Croatia in 2019. Stepanek won the match 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, 6-7, 16-14. During the whole match, there were only 3 breaks of serve. Ivo Karlovic set the world record for most aces in a single match during this match. He hit 78 aces, the most in a single match. When you think about it, that's like winning almost 20 games without making a single shot. Stepanek deserves credit for staying in the game and winning in the end. The match took place on clay, and there were a total of 493 points. The Czech Republic lost to Spain in the Davis Cup finals, which they reached because of Stepanek's win. At number 2, we have Horst Skoff versus Mats Wilander at the 1989 Davis Cup. Number 8 was another Davis Cup match between Austria and Sweden in 1989. Horst Skoff and Mats Wilander's quarterfinal match lasted 6 hours and 4 minutes and ended with a score of 6-7, 7-6, 1-6, 6-4, and 9-7 in Skoff's favor. At the time, Skoff was ranked about 30th in the world, while Wilander was one of the top 5 players in the world. His win was a big surprise. Even though Skoff's win was great, it wasn't enough for Austria to beat Sweden. In the end, Sweden beat Austria by a score of 32, and they went to the finals, where they lost to West Germany by the same score. Last but not the least, at number 1, we have John Isner versus Nicolas Mahut at the 2010 Wimbledon. John Isner and Nicolas Mahut played the longest tennis match ever in the first round of the men's singles at Wimbledon in 2010. Isner won a match at the All England Club in London that lasted 665 minutes, 11 hours and 5 minutes, spread out over 3 days. Isner and Mahut played 4 sets on court 18 on June 22nd, 2010, before the day was over because there wasn't enough light. The players came back the next day and started their long wait in the 5th set, where they held their serves repeatedly until play had to be stopped because there was no natural light. This made the match go on for a 3rd day. Since it was so unexpected, the electronic scoreboard quit functioning at 47-47 in the 5th set because it wasn't set up to keep track of scores past that point. Isner and Mahut kept playing on June 24th. During the match, they each served more than 100 aces and held serve for 168 straight games. The American won in the end when he kept his serve in the 137th game of the 5th set and then broke Mahut in the 138th. He won the long match and moved on to the next round. Even the 5th set took 8 8 hours and 11 minutes, which is enough to break a record on its own. That's all for this video. Which match do you think was the most thrilling? Would you watch a super long tennis match live? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.